All right, well, we got a great guest coming up here for you for a great Q&A session. Mr. Jim Cummings. If you've watched several different different shows, you're going to know the voice of this man from Star Wars Rebels to Winnie the Pooh to Tigger to Darkwing Duck and nearly 400 different shows that he's been involved in. So we're going to have a great Q&A session. Welcome, Mr. Jim Cummings.
Lovely weather we're having. All right. Hello. Meanwhile, back in Waco, Texas. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim, and I'm a guy that has a weird job. I usually I start out telling people how I did this. You know, I used to get kicked out of class. That's how it started. So, you know, doing squirrel or dolphin noises, and Sister Mary Agnes said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Cummings, we don't have dolphins here at St. Columba." And I, well, we got one, but so don't do that. Any kids out there? But you know, I was always in plays and I was always in bands as a kid and played drums and sang, and I always thought, you know, as an actor starting out, I instead of being, you know, I was a 12-year-old kid, instead of wanting to be the prince, I wanted to be the ogre or the hermit or the wizard or the weirdo who lived in a cave or something, and I guess I was accidentally doing research for this. For coming to say hello to you guys, actually. So, you know, and, you know, it seemed to work out, and a lot of actors don't sing, and a lot of singers don't act, and I can't do either one, so that I get to do both as a result, but don't tell anybody. And yeah, I started my first job was 1984, and the first series I ever did was called Dumbo Circus, and it was on... Disney had just started this channel. Apparently, cable TV had just started Disney Channel. And apparently, it's working out for them. They seem to be struggling through, even to this day. So, you know, gosh, from there, I just kept working and ended up auditioning for Winnie the Pooh and Tigger in '87. And I've been doing those guys ever since then. And you know, I just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I got 3 movies coming out I'm supposed to tell you about. One of them they can't think of the name for. They keep changing it. So how about that one? Everybody's be on the lookout for that one. That's going to be a blockbuster. And another is called Sava, Heart of the Warrior, and I play a Cajun wizard. Sure, told you I'd get the weird stuff. And another is called Charming, I think. They keep changing the thing on this, and I'm King Charming, Prince Charming's dad. Who knew? I didn't know that was a family name, like Smith. You know, I had no idea. Turns out it is. And Wilmer Valderrama from that '70s show, you know him. He's Prince Charming. And who's in there? Demi Lovato, one of the better Demis, and Avril Lavigne and Ashley Tisdale. And I'm the token non-celebrity, as usual. And John Cleese is in there somewhere, and he's also in a movie called Get Squirrely. They keep changing names on that one, too. And I'm one of his fierce henchmen. I'm a frog. Thanks. Thank you very much. Yeah. Warts and all. And but, you know, Sophia the First is out there, and then Star Wars Rebels. And, yes... You must be a friend of Hondo Onaga. Just stand over the cilium and nobody get hurt. But yeah, I play bad guys too. But it's an act, I'm just joking. I'm also Winnie the Pooh, so don't worry, it's going to be just fine. Oh, bother. Has anybody got a smackwell of honey for me? Don't be ridiculous, Pooh. These people don't have no honey, they're not going to share with you. And it helps that we're schizophrenic, and so are we. So it's all good, you know. And oh, we have a little guy who somebody just woke up. Hi. He's like, wow, man, what's this guy Touretting away in the background for, Mom? You know, make him shut up. But yes, indeed. Now I don't even know how much time we have here.
I think up to 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We got plenty of time. So we're going to do several questions. We'll have the mic here in the middle if you would like to ask Mr. Cummings some questions. So feel free to walk up, ask him questions. To kind of get it started off, you've done a ton of different characters. Now, some you've taken over. Is it harder to take over a character and have to master it, or to come up with a new voice of a new character?
Gosh, 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
So I'm good at asking questions, huh?
Man, the thing about when you're taking over one, you have to make sure it sounds like the original guy. Even if you're coughing or sneezing or stubbing your toe, it has to sound like Tigger or Pooh or fill in the blank. That person, and that's job one. And then from there, you just get into character, and like if he has to bounce, then you bounce. You gotta bounce. Somebody has to do it. And you just take it from there. Whereas like a character like Darkwing, that was not there before me. They wrote it, and you take all the aspects of the writers and the producers' vision for it, and and you kind of take into consideration the size of the guy. Like he wouldn't be, he's a fairly normal-sized duck, and so he's not going to sound real big. But no, that sounded like Pete. But that's okay too, because the goof couldn't be here. So yes, I harass other Disney characters, even though I often did a show called Bonkers where I was mad at myself, and I would apologize and throw myself off a cliff, then make up with myself, and then did I mention that schizophrenic thing? I don't know if but that was Bonkers and Lucky Piquel. But it's as long as people like it, as long as we have a good time. Some of the earlier ones like Pooh and Tigger, they were around. Well, in literature, they're around since the 20s, But they started with Paul Winchell, the late great Sterling Holloway, Pooh and Tigger, Tigger and Pooh, respectively. And they are no longer with us. So the thing is, you got to lock into that character and hold on to it and keep it alive and vital, for the new folks. And then the other stuff you just kind of make up, which is what I'm doing anyway. So yeah, but don't tell anyone.
So you go through a drive-through. How messed up can you get people by just jumping into character?
Oh yeah. Well, I do a lot of voicemails. I do a lot of things like that. Yeah, at drive-through. I did that when I first started off, and then it's just like, oh gosh, I'll be there all day. It's like back in the day when everybody had our answering machines. Of course, now you still have it on your phone, but I would do answering machines for people, and they'd go away for the weekend, and it would be like somebody from Don Carnage or King Louie or Darkwing, and they'd come back on Monday, and there'd be like 45 messages on there. Dude, that's so cool. You don't even know who it was. It was just somebody calling you, hey, listen, my friends, here, listen to this. That's Darkwing Duck on there. Yeah, how about that? Huh? Then you got to rewind the tape. But she was one of them. She's got. I remember those phone calls. Yeah. But yeah, it's all good though.
And I do want to remind, you're more than welcome. Come up, ask some questions if you've got favorite character or something like that. Yeah, have that.
But it has to be in Esperanto.
Oh man, you got me there, dude.
Which I have no idea what that is or how it sounds like.
So question.
That's not Esperanto.
Oh, obviously not. I don't know what Esperanto is other than the language that Kirk speaks, and that it's also in Blade 3 Trinity. My question is, for video games, when you're voicing characters, say for like Mass Effect, or not Reeve, or you're like when you did Fallout and you did the voices of the scribes in Fallout 4, and then in Fallout 1 you did Set, Gizmo, and the Master.
It was what? I'm sorry.
The Master, the last boss thing that's in that chair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was curious. Could you do a fusion of Gizmo the Pooh?
Probably not. I have no idea what you just said. I'm sorry. From Gizmo to Pooh? Oh, great. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me who I was again.
Gizmo is the guy in Junktown that was just like, the evil of evils. Oh, I know. It's probably been forever, but my apologies. I just was curious.
Yeah, I can't remember that, dude, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're okay.
You know what's funny about I'll tell you the truth. Here's the thing. Video games are, apparently they gross more than movies. Who'd have thunk it, right? I always think of like video games is the NASCAR to movies, kind of like NASCAR is to all the other sports. It's the biggest one put together, but I don't think I could name like 7 or 8 NASCArists. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
yet, and the thing about video games is you do them, and you know, there's not a ton of artwork for them, you know, and like with a movie, you know, it's on a DVD or a Blu-ray or, you know, a TV show, or you see it in reruns.
Yeah.
You know, and you kind of have a familiarity, because I've been doing this for 30-something years, and so, like some of those games you were saying, I mean, of course I remember them, but unless you're a gamer, and I'm really not a gamer, oddly. I mean, you'd think I would be, but I guess I'm not. But I just don't, you know, they don't. They're harder to keep track of, you know, and I've talked to other guys that do what I do, and they're going, yeah, because you do them and you kind of go away. I did a character when I very first, perfect example, started doing conventions. Is this guy comes up to me and he goes, do the line, do it, go ahead, and I'm going, oh bother, no, come on, do the line, man. No, dude, come on, man, you're killing me. I am the terror that flaps him. No. I said, well, all right, well, what is it? He goes, go for the ice, boo. Well, it was from something called Baldur's Gate. Anybody know Baldur's Gate?
Wow.
Everybody just raise your hand. Act like you do. See, you guys are all you four are insane for it, but it's like, and apparently that stuff, but it makes a huge impact. That's a good example, I guess, because 6 months ago, we did more of that, Baldur's Gate. So you guys that do the video games, you're like really rabid, and God bless you. But it's hard to keep track of. Who was Gizmo? I'm so sorry. That was a long-ass answer, wasn't it? Sorry, pardon my French.
Oh, no, it's okay.
But what,
he was the mobster. It was like running the criminal element of Junktown.
Oh,
Like he had
Gizmo. See, I was thinking of that dude from Gremlins. I thought it was one of those guys.
Oh, no.
No, why silly me? Well, how did he sound? Give me some, because you're good.
He's kind of jolly, and he's just like, you know, he didn't speak directly. He always spoke in pronouns about things he needed doing. Say, for example, taking out Killian Darkwater, he never directly addressed it.
Yeah.
Instead, you had to infer it by clicking your little choices as the PC. And anyways, just like, you know, the way you did the voice, it just was menacing. Like, it scared me encountering him the first time because I was much, much younger.
Yeah, it's just the way I planned it. I have no idea.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Right on the money, man. Oh, my God. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
We got another guy.
I don't think
with
I answered your question, but thanks for asking it anyway.
All right, we got another one here.
How did you go from door-to-door salesman to an amazing voice actor?
I think I was a bus. I was on a bus that day. No, I'm kidding. It was a streetcar. No, geez, I don't know, man. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff. I worked at a steel mill. I was deckhand on a riverboat, designed Mardi Gras floats, you know, stuff like that. Paid professional male escort.
Was getting in with
I might have made up that last one.
was getting in with Disney a big step for getting you started to multiple characters?
Yeah, well, you know, it was my first job. I had the benefit of being too stupid to know it was impossible to break into. So I did, accidentally. A guy came in actually at the video store I worked in and asked me, he said, oh, I got your demo tape, yeah. And, you know, and he was very kind. He said, well, you don't suck. And I said, thank you so much. And he said, well, a buddy of mine's casting for this or that, so I'll send him your tape. And it sounds like, you know, don't call me, I won't call you, but he did. And so they called me up and said, well, hey, you don't suck. And I said, thanks, I get that a lot. And so I went up and auditioned, and it was for Dumbo Circus, the first job for Disney Channel, that famous, obscure animation company that seems to be chugging along. But that was my first job, and then at that point, it kept going for like a year and a half, and we were doing 2 shows a week, and so that would be like almost 8 hours work, and I ended up taking home like 250, 300 bucks more for 8 hours than, doing cartoons than I did for like 60 hours in the Video Depot. So I went, I see where this is going. I'm going to do this instead. And now I get to hang out with you guys, so I'm glad. Thank you.
Awesome.
But yes.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would talk a little bit about your Star Wars work. I know you were in Clone Wars as Hondo and Naka, and reprised that character on the new show, Rebels, and kind of how it's different. I know Dave Filoni is the showrunner on both of those, but is it a different experience on this new show now that that's under the Disney umbrella? And I wonder if you could answer that.
Well, the thing about working for my close personal friend, Sir George Lucas. Yeah, right. No, it's they're very, 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 very secretive, and that hasn't changed. I don't really think much has changed because George has kept the creative control over it. George and Dave, In fact, I mean, if you, they gave me. Was it the second? I think it was the second year of Clone Wars. Hondo was up for an Emmy, no, wait, it was me. I was up for an Emmy. Well, it's coming back to me. I didn't win, but they sent me these screeners, and to watch. And in the bottom, like you're watching it on your TV set, you're kind of like picking scenes or whatever, and it says property of George Lucas International. Boy, oh boy, are we copywriting the hell out of this, and you better not be messing with this or making a duplicate because we gave this to Jim J. Cummings and we'll know it was him. It kind of said stuff just like that, really similar. I was like right across the bottom of the screen, and I go, okay, I won't be making any copies of this. This will not be going to eBay. And the scripts are the same. They have in shadow, sort of a shadow letter. Jim J. It's got your name on it. So I guess people, obviously people will do something, they'll sign something and then put it on eBay, I guess. And so that hasn't changed. They are very, 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 very tight security. And, it's interesting, even if we're doing a show, and I remember it was at the end of the one season, if your character, there was like 5 or 6 people in the cast, seven or 8, and if your character wasn't in the end scene and it was going to be a cliffhanger, they would say, okay, well, since this one's between blah, 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 those are the guys in the booth. Now, everybody else, we're going to ask you to go to the lobby. So you wouldn't even get those pages of the script, so you wouldn't know how it ended. So, I mean, they are like really into it. And you sign a non-disclosure agreement. And now, since I've told you this, I have to kill myself, so excuse me. Bye. It was so nice to meet you guys. I'll wait till after the panel.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. And again, if anybody else has any questions, don't be bashful. Get up there, ask questions.
Yeah,
if not, he's gonna talk to himself and all the different characters
That's
for
right,
the next 20 minutes. So.
Stop me before I don't kill again. Don't be bashful or sleepy or dopey. It's so funny because those are dwarf names. See what I mean? It's comedy humor. He's smiling. Hey, come on, don't be bashful.
What was your time working on Adventure Time like?
Adventure Time, it was about an hour and a half. No, I'm kidding. It was
That's a good answer.
It was like 2 hours, man. No, it was a lot of fun. I don't think I did like 2 of them. I can't even remember what the heck I did. I was a talking doorknob or singing mushroom or something. You know what I mean? I think that shows like a fever dream. It's really cool. They're great people too, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm over that a lot. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm very intrigued to just hear what a Cajun wizard would sound like. Are you able to do that?
Oh, a
voice
Cajun
before
wizard.
really-
Yeah, I
could you
am
do that?
too. Yeah, we did that like a year and a half ago. But I think it was out there like that. And I have a philosophy that if you do a really, really good impression of somebody that nobody knows, it's a character, brand new character. And if you do a horrible impression of somebody that everybody knows and they have no idea who the heck you're doing, it's a new character. So I've always used, God bless you, Uncle Sam, he's in heaven. But my Uncle Sam used to sound like this, you know, and he actually, swear to God, sounded that scary. I mean, I was 5 and Uncle Sam would say, pass the salt. Yes, sir. Yes, I will go to the salt mine and get you more if you. And he actually sounded like that. And so Uncle Sam has been in a lot of, he's been an ogre, a couple dragons, definitely a leg breaker or two in a cartoon or so. And Uncle Sam was what that Cajun wizard I put on, you know, because I was a deckhand on a riverboat in New Orleans for a long time. And you know, they got that accent out there like that. I don't know y'all. Y'all anybody come over here like that from there, from out there in that bayou? Ooh, we pass a good time, yeah. And so I used Uncle Sam's voice, and I thought that he was going to be from La Shreveport or Napoleonville. And that's what a Cajun wizard sounds like. Uncle Sam and a Cajun.
Right.
But don't tell anyone. Oh, it's Supergirl. Thank you for flying here to be with us. I feel a lot safer knowing you're here.
What would it sound like if Honku Naka, I think it's how you pronounce his name, I'm not sure, and Darkwing Duck had a conversation?
Well, I suppose it would sound like this. So tell me, you are a duck. What is a duck?
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. I forgot to moisturize. Let's not worry about it there, Featherface.
You know, I think it would be something like that. But the conversation would be a little snappier. So you are the terror that flaps in the night. What does that mean?
Never mind.
Just, anyway. Hi. You're famous.
Right now I am.
Yeah, you are.
So
I really liked that movie, by the way, that you were in.
Oh, thank you.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Did you remember the
it was
ending?
A lot of fun. I do actually.
When
I-
that guy. Oh.
Yeah, I'm on the down low. If anyone sees him here, he's not supposed to be here.
Is it similar to
I
the
thought
QT?
I vanquished him, you know. Anyway, all this to say, I
Yes.
wondered what was your favorite character that you've ever played, or maybe the favorite impersonation that you've kind of done.
Definitely that one that he asked me about that I didn't have any idea what he was talking about. That's my favorite one. What was it? No, I'm just kidding. I think it was Omzig. Oh, no, I'm dyslexic. Gizmo, yeah. Thank you. Good night, everybody. No, but, you know, people ask me that all the time. And here's the thing. Pooh and Tigger I like because they're kind of like evergreens. You know, they've been around forever and everybody knows them. And Taz is kind of in there too. Taz-like. But I like Darkwing Duck a heck of a lot because he's a kind of a cool dad. He's a dad. I'm a dad. I've got 4 daughters, so you know God has a sense of humor. And so does Darkwing. Well, he has got one. But you know, and I like Hondo actually, and Ray from Princess and the Frog are my top 5 as far as that goes. But yes, sir. Meanwhile.
Hello. Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes.
I'm a fan of your work, by the way.
Hey, man.
You're awesome. But anyway,
Thanks.
the real question is, so I've heard you were the voice of Shang Tsung in Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat: The Journey Begins that came out way back. So I wanted to know, how was your experience playing as those 2 characters in that cartoon?
It was great.
That is the best answer I ever got in my life. Perfect.
And I'm only serious.
Can you give me a voice of Shang Tsung for 1 second?
Yes. And you first.
All right.
Your soul is mine.
Your soul is mine.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you. Don't tell him.
All right, next one.
Yes, sir.
How do
You're having a good shirt day. Good hat. You got something on your hat, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm just kidding with you. I kid professionally.
Thank you.
This is heavy. What's happening?
Not much. A huge fan, of course. But,
Thank you.
This is kind of like a 2-parter question.
Okay.
They recently released that they're going to be...
She hates 2-parter questions. You hear that?
They're making
Yes.
a reboot of DuckTales, and what I was saying is, if they would make a reboot of Darkwing Duck, would you come back on as the voice? Would you be willing?
No, that'd make sure they got somebody else. Take a wild guess. Yes, I think I would.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, we actually did a fake Kickstarter on April Fool's Day a couple of years ago, and everybody was like, "Oh man, that's great. That's really good." And I go, "No, it was April Fool's." But no, I'd love to do that. Actually, well, they're doing DuckTales, right?
Yep.
I imagine that's part of what inspired that. Yeah, I know. And well, Alan Young's not around anymore. I take that back. God bless you, Alan. He's in his I don't know, maybe mid-90s. So he's just tired. He's done, you know. And God bless him, like I say. But I'm still here. We ain't waiting on me. If we want to, I'll tell you what. Why don't you do this? Start it up. Get a production company going and give it to Disney, and we'll just do it.
Sounds like a plan.
We'll make a big deal out of it. And but yeah, the answer is I would be there in a flash. Yeah, I love Darkwing. I'm kind of amazed, honestly. It's been a long time, and well, they're bringing the cartoon back, the comic book back. So I don't know. You know, Tad Stones is Darkwing. I always call him Darkwing's dad, and Jenny McSwain, the voice director, was his mom. Even though I don't look like either one of them, which is so weird. But I always say, you know, if they brought it back, we'd be there with bells on. And I'm kind of amazed that people are still that into it, because little kids will come up, they'll be like 7 years old, and it'd be dressed as Darkwing Duck, and I'm going, okay, well, that show was on about 10 years before you were born, so how'd you get the you know, and the dad will go, I'm raising them right. And he's got like a stack of DVDs. Darkwing, I go, yeah, baby.
Any other parents out there do that, just like me?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Darkwing Duck, Tailspin,
Yeah.
Chippendale Rescue
good to hear.
Rangers. This guy was part of all
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, it's good. You know, I often think sometimes, you know, I mean, I think every single generation in the world has done this, but yeah, they don't make them. They don't do them like when I was a kid. See, they were good then, back then. But honestly, I mean, like 20 years from now, I don't think people are going to be sitting around. You know, it's a shame they don't make all those great booger and cartoons like they used to, where people would sneeze in each other's faces and burp and because those were the plot lines that I really miss. You know, I don't think they're going to be doing that. I could be wrong. But I can't remember the question, but the answer is definitely yes. And thank you for asking it. All right. Have an aerodynamic day.
Thank you.
All right.
Meanwhile.
What was it like working on Goof Troop?
Oh, it was goofy. It was great. You know, we had a ball. Had an absolute ball. We did like 1 million shows, 100 and something shows, and you know, Billy's a good buddy. Bill Farmer and I. We had just a bang up time. It was like, you know, like doing Little Rascals comedy every week or something. It was a lot of fun, and everybody had a good time with it. It was the 20th anniversary of the Goofy movie, I think, last year. So that was fun. That was a good time. And you know, it's so funny because Bill Farmer, you know, Russi Taylor, Minnie Mouse, you know, they're all good buddies of mine, you know, known them for a long, long, long time. And Billy, even if he was here, I swear to God, I'd tell the same story. We used to do, it was kind of in an L-shaped room. I would be here, and Bill was there, and April was there, and Rob was there, and you know, and Dana. And we'd be doing all our characters. And one time, Bill came in, and he's playing Goofy. So, you know, you're kind of ready to give him a benefit of the doubt right off the bat. But he was sitting there, and he actually made he sounds a little like Goofy. And anyway, because he's from Kansas, and he's got sort of that little twang in there, anyway, when he's just talking. And he was sitting there, and he kind of, you could tell he was tired or something, and he kind of dozed off, and he snapped out of it, and we were on these kind of high chairs, these high stools, and he accidentally kicked his microphone, and it went boom, 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 and it dominoed around the room, and we're going, man, that's good stuff. I can't believe you just did that. And the engineer's going, You know, because these things are not cheap. You know, he was ready to cry. Oh, gosh, I'm sure sorry about that. And I was like, well, you know, I don't do Goofy, obviously. Well, there you go. I can't take you anywhere. We haven't even started and you destroyed the studio. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
He was really goofy in real life. Thank you. Yeah.
Are there any characters that you haven't done officially, but that you wish you could do officially?
Yeah, that Gizmo that he was talking about. I was hoping they were going to bring him back, but apparently, now thanks for bringing it up. No, I don't know. No, I've been pretty lucky. Anything I would say would sound like I would be envious of somebody who got it. So, I'm doing fine. How about you, sir? Hey.
Hi, big fan.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, I know you've played Tigger and Pooh, and obviously that's a huge part of my childhood. How do you feel about taking over these roles from other actors and the responsibility that comes with that?
Wait, taking over which? I'm sorry?
About taking on these roles that other actors have played and the responsibility that comes with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's an honor, Yeah, God bless them. They're deceased, obviously. But, especially, different ones like that, they're kind of traditional characters. And you want to take care of them. It's kind of like you're a torchbearer, carrying on that tradition to the next generation, the next one. And it's an honor for me, I'm very, very blessed, and I'm happy. I just want to do it right, and make sure. Like occasionally somebody will ask Pooh or Tigger to do something in some terrible off-color, remark or whatever, and I go, no, I can't do it, because it's just. I remember we did the Just Say No campaign. God bless Nancy Reagan. But there was a line in there where they took all the cartoon characters from Saturday morning at the time, and they put them into a big special, and it was on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, and back, I don't think cable was quite as big then, but it was going to be shown simultaneously as a part of the Just Say No to Drugs campaign. And so that was very cool. And one of the lines that they wanted for Winnie the Pooh, if you can believe, was, so if anybody ever comes up to you and offers you a joint, then don't, and I go, oh, no, I'm not going to say that. Pooh wouldn't even know what that was. He would think you were talking about a knee. Or we can't be, I said, now give that to a doggone Ninja Turtle who deserves it. Cowabunga. So you got to watch out for that kind of stuff, But other than that, it's great. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
also,
sir.
real quick, can you do the Wonderful Thing About Tiggers for me?
Do which one?
Wonderful Thing About Tiggers.
Oh, sorry. The things are wonderful things. The tops are made out of rubber. The bottoms are made out of springs. They're bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, bouncy, fun, 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 fun. Oh, but the most wonderful thing about Tigger is I'm the only one. I'm the only one. So the answer is no.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hey. Howdy.
We got time for just these last couple questions here, and then we'll finish up.
All right.
How you doing?
Superb.
Well, a man of your impressive range, I always wanted to ask you this. You go from Ka to Cortez of El Dorado.
Mm-hmm.
What voice was the most difficult to do out of all your voices?
Well, as far as just Taz, I would think, maybe. Taz and Mr. Bumpy. We used to, when we would record the show, Tasmania, I requested we do it on a Friday afternoon so that I had the weekend.
Taz does not do books on tape.
And we're all glad that he doesn't. So, but that would definitely be the raspiest one. And this one that I'm doing now is a real pain. But I'm stuck with it, so. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, our last guy?
Yes,
Already. Yes, Mr. Castle.
Thanks. Okay, so you've
played in cartoons, you've done video games. I know you've been in the Kingdom Hearts series, reprising your Disney roles. Is there a glaring difference between voice acting for cartoons and stuff, as opposed to video games, or is it just I'm talking in a microphone?
Yeah, there sure is. In a video game, there's no interaction with you, with anybody else in the room, and you have to. I'm not a huge fan of those, so I charge them a lot. but no, but it's you don't get any feedback. There's no dialogue, literally no dialogue. It's all assembled after the fact. Look out, they're coming over the hill. Look out, they're coming around the hill. Look out, they're not going by the hill. Look, there's a hill. You're doing that 1,900 different ways, and so as a result, it's a little more like laying bricks. Whereas with a regular cartoon or a movie or singing or whatever, there's a plot line there, and you're moving it forward and everything. Whereas the other is a bit, it's kind of tedious. So, but and there are no reruns or residuals on them, so there's that too. But so it's very different, but it all comes out in the wash, I think.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Can you remind everybody what's your time and everything going on?
Yeah, that's right. I think you, please, by all means, come over and hang out or get an autograph if you want or a picture with me. I think I'm right out the door and to the right and to the left and to the right. I'll be the one that, with the guy with the sty in his eye sitting there going, what the heck? But it's great because I'm right between Allison and Claudia, so I'm really happy. So by all means, come over and say hi over the weekend, and in the meantime, stay dangerous, and
don't forget to grow up and live as happily as sweet as honey forever. And that means you, little mister. And keep on bouncing, TTFN.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. Jim Cummings.
Thank you, Brady. How's the weather?